Beloved listeners, allow me to greet you with a quiet, genuine warmth. Thank you for inviting me into a small corner of your day. Time is the most sacred thing we own, and the fact that you're willing to spend a portion of yours here is something I do not take lightly. Settle into your breath. Loosen your shoulders. Let the pace of the world slow just a little. What we're about to explore is not a list of tricks or hacks. It's an approach to living, a philosophy shaped by patience, clarity, and the kind of honesty that stings at first but strengthens you over time. Today, we enter the realm of mastering your 24 hours like a genius. Not through frantic hustle, not through intensity for its own sake, but through deliberate, thoughtful use of the only asset you have that cannot be replenished. I've lived long enough to see wealth rise and fall, careers blossom and collapse, empires built and forgotten. I've seen people chasing every new method, every popular idea, every glamorous routine. None of them matter if the hours underneath them are handled poorly. A person's life is the sum of how they spend their ordinary days. Nothing more. Nothing less. Mastering your day begins with a shift in identity. You are the owner of your hours, not the victim of them. Most people wake up and immediately hand their day over to the world. They check messages before they check their mindset. They let demands flood in before intention has a chance to breathe. They drift like leaves in a river going wherever the current of noise pushes them. But a genius rises with a different orientation. They start by recognizing that every action is a trade. With each choice, they are exchanging a piece of their life, something they can never retrieve. When you truly feel the weight of that truth, not fearfully, but responsibly, you begin to choose differently. You stop scattering your hours on trivial things. You stop letting your attention be auctioned off to the loudest distraction. You begin treating your time the way a seasoned investor treats capital, with caution, clarity, and purpose. Before your day unfolds, ask yourself quietly, without drama, what truly matters today? What can wait? What deserves to be eliminated entirely? Answer honestly, and your day begins to align. But ownership alone is not enough. You must understand the rhythm of your mind. Your brain is not a machine with constant output. It rises and dips, sharpens and dulls. Most people fight these natural waves, trying to force brilliance when their mind is exhausted and wasting their sharpest hours on nonsense. A genius does the opposite. They study themselves. They observe when their energy peaks, those rare hours when clarity is high and focus feels effortless. They reserve these windows for their most meaningful work. Not chores, not errands, not digital noise. The important things. And when their mind softens, they do lighter tasks or rest altogether. Working in harmony with your internal rhythm is not laziness. It is wisdom. The mind, like the ocean, cannot hold a constant tide. Once you understand your rhythm, you must devote yourself to single-threaded focus. Focus is a rare currency in the modern age. People confuse motion with progress. They juggle tasks, check multiple apps, and bounce between activities believing they're being productive. But the truth is brutal. Multitasking weakens thinking, dilutes creativity, and fractures your results. Geniuses know that depth produces breakthroughs, and depth requires full presence. Pick one task, clear the noise, and dive into it. When your attention is unified, your mind becomes a blade instead of a cloud. You work fewer hours but produce work of far greater value. Still, even with focus and rhythm, no day functions smoothly without margin. People fill their schedules until their minds suffocate. They leave no room for the unexpected. They move through the day like a stretched rubber band, one pull away from snapping. But a wise person leaves empty spaces on purpose. These pockets of time are not laziness. They are protection. They absorb life's surprises and preserve your peace. In these margins, you breathe, regain clarity, and prevent yourself from being mentally overdrawn. A day with no margin is a day built on fragility. A day with margin is a day built on strength. Mastery also requires the discipline of purposeful neglect. Most people drown in unnecessary commitments, tasks that look important but are merely familiar. Responsibilities inherited from others' expectations. distractions disguised as obligations. If you try to care about everything, you end up caring deeply about nothing. The genius learns to ignore strategically. They ignore the noise of comparison. They ignore trends that pull them off their path. They ignore tasks that do not contribute to the person they want to become. Their power comes from subtraction, not addition, but let's make this practical. One habit quietly transforms how you use your time, the daily audit. At the end of each day, spend a few minutes in calm reflection. Not judgment, not guilt, just observation. What moved your life forward today? What stalled it? What distracted you? What energized you? This simple reflection becomes a blueprint for improvement. You begin to understand yourself, your triggers, your patterns. You adjust gently but consistently. Genius rarely arrives through dramatic transformation. It grows through small, compounded corrections. Another practical tool is what I've come to rely on for decades: choosing 3 essential tasks each morning. Not 20, not 10, 3. These are the tasks that matter most. If completed, the day is a meaningful success. This clears your mind of clutter. The 3 become your compass. You stop reacting and start directing. And once those 3 are done, the rest of the day feels lighter. You've honored your priorities. You've invested your energy where it counts. But beneath the practices lies a deeper truth about time. Slowing down is often the fastest path forward. Rushing is the mark of a disorganized mind. When you rush, you make errors, forget details, react emotionally, and create problems you must later fix. The wise move deliberately, not quickly or slowly, deliberately. They give each task the attention it requires and no more. In a world obsessed with speed, calm becomes a competitive advantage. To move calmly, your internal dialogue matters more than you might realize. The way you speak to yourself shapes your relationship with time. If your inner voice panics, the day collapses into chaos. If it criticizes harshly, you avoid important tasks out of fear. But when you cultivate a firm, steady internal mentor, one who speaks with clarity instead of pressure, you begin to navigate your day with strength. Be careful with your self-talk. It is the quiet architect of your time. Your environment shapes you as well. Even disciplined minds crumble in environments built for distraction. If your room is chaotic, your thoughts scatter. If your digital devices are unrestrained, your attention dissolves. Genius is not only internal, it is engineered. Clean your physical space. Reduce digital noise. Surround yourself with tools, not temptations. Make the productive choice the easy choice. And finally, master your rest. I've seen entire companies fall because leaders deprive themselves of rest. Fatigue breeds poor judgment. A tired mind makes impulsive decisions, loses patience, and misinterprets simple information. Rest is not indulgence. It is maintenance. A rested mind thinks more clearly, works more efficiently, and resists distraction more easily. Genius is impossible without restoration. Zooming out now, let us speak about the philosophy of the 24. You do not control the big arcs of life directly. You shape them indirectly, through the small arcs, the days. The day is the only true unit of life you possess. When you master the day, the years take care of themselves. But when you squander the day, the years quietly decay. Don't dream of decades if you cannot honor the next hour. Don't fantasize about huge transformations if you haven't yet mastered the simple act of being. Intentional. Consider this quiet metaphor. Imagine someone places 24 gold coins in your hand every morning. You cannot save them. You cannot carry them into tomorrow. They must be spent. How you spend them makes your life. Most people scatter these coins on trivialities. Some spend them on what others demand. Few spend them with purpose. But a genius, someone striving for mastery, spends them carefully, with a steady hand and an aware mind. The truth is simple and harsh. Every hour is a coin. Every choice is a transaction. Every day is a statement of who you are becoming. Beloved listeners, thank you for sharing this time with me. Carry these principles gently but consistently. Let them guide you without rushing you. Mastery is patient. It is built one intentional day at a time. Treat your hours with reverence. Treat your choices with care. And above all, treat yourself as worthy of a life shaped by clarity, discipline, and deep presence. This is how you master your 24 hours like a genius, by honoring the day, and in doing so, honoring your future.